Hello everyone, I'm Sue Jankowski and you are watching Spotlight on PHTV4. Today the Spotlight is on Pathlights, the organization dedicated to assisting individuals over 60 with services needed to live with independence and dignity. In fact, I'll mention it. I was talking before the show, and you may remember this as PLOWs. Now it's called Pathlights, and it has been Pathlights for quite a while. Our guest today is Elaine Grandy. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Sue. Delighted to be here.
It's so nice to have you. Elaine is the director of Pathlights right now, and she is going to tell us about some things coming up and all about Pathlights if you're not familiar with it. It's a great organization. And before we get started with that, though, I think it's really interesting to find out a little bit about Elaine. Elaine, thanks for coming in and tell us just a little bit about yourself.
So I was born in Ireland, and I came here when I was on an adventure when I was 25 years of age, and just came to explore and travel and get excited about, I was young and eager to see the world. So a friend of mine that I knew here then had told me about Pathlights, PLOWs Council on Aging at the time. And I was intrigued and inspired really by the work that was going on. And because I have a deep respect for older adults, they mean a lot to me. They're a very important part of our society, and they've always been dear to my heart. So fast forward a few years, and I find myself, after a career change, I find myself in a part-time position as a housing specialist at Pathlights. And I immediately love the work, and especially because of the impact we can have on people's lives. So it was really something that spoke to me, and I was just drawn in. Over the years then, I've had the opportunity, so I've been at Pathlights for 23 years now.
Oh, wow.
Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work in a variety of different roles and really grow with the organization and really see the difference that it makes being part of there, because I suppose life can throw challenges and
that's for sure.
Change plans. Mm-hmm. And if we can be there to support people during these times, I think it really makes a difference and can really help people.
It does make a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
And look, here you went on an adventure.
I know.
And here you are.
I know, I'm still here. And I wouldn't change it. It's funny, it's as if the path was already, this was where I was meant to be, and just a variety of events.
You followed it. You followed your heart. Like sometimes something inside of you is telling you to go a certain way. Mm-hmm. Well, that's wonderful. And 23 years later, you're the director, and you've probably been the director for a while.
Almost 3 years now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Great. Well, I think it's important for our viewers to know, what does Pathlights do? What services does it provide? Because as our population in the entire country is getting older and older, of course we're all getting older all the time, but we do have this rather large group of people kind of going through life, and it's quite large. Yeah. So I would think that you're providing a lot of services, and you have a lot of people to service.
Correct. Yes, we are also living in a very densely populated area, and actually, well, let me back up a little bit. Pathlights' mission really is to provide support and guidance as people age. Aging can be overwhelming. You don't know where to turn when you need support or resources or just general information. Who do I contact? What do I do? How do I go through this process? So we are there to support people and guide them and provide them with all the information on the resources, services, supports, so they can make an informed decision what's best for them. Okay. It's very individual. Some people are going to choose different paths, but as long as you're informed, you can make the choices that work for you. So as you mentioned, Sue, this service is available to everyone all over the country. If you live in another area, another state, you can contact your Department on Aging or your area agency on aging, and they will tell you what organization to call. So that's very important, because no one should be without that support. Sometimes families are not living close by. Times have changed. So we as an aging network are there to support people on their journey and their path.
And I think a lot of times people want to be independent. They don't want to have to depend on their family who's busy, not that they wouldn't help out or whatever, but they're very busy too. And you want to make your own decisions.
Definitely.
So if you have the knowledge to make that decision, that would be very helpful.
Definitely. So what happens is when someone calls our office, they'll first of all speak with an intake specialist, and they'll have a great conversation to determine what are your needs, what are you looking for, is it just information and resources, do you need services set up in your home, or they'll let them know all the options that are available, and sometimes they're ready to say, okay, yes, I want home delivered meals, I really need them, I'm finding it hard to get to the grocery store, or I'm struggling with the preparation, and or I'm going through some health care at the moment that I need support with my meals. So intake specialists will work through everything and talk about the options and give them all the information, give people the information so they can decide what they'd like. And then once the older adult decides, we can make referrals for a variety of services. It could be home delivered meals, as I mentioned. It could be in-home services. Maybe you want some help with non-medical tasks in the home daily: laundry, housekeeping, errand running, grocery shopping, doctor visits, whatever it may be. We also help people apply for benefits, your property tax applications, food stamps, Medicaid. We have Medicare counseling. We have housing specialists that will talk about housing options in the community if you're not sure, what's available. And a variety of other programs. Two of the big programs that we have, or one of the large programs that we have that people aren't aware of, because it doesn't really apply to the older adult, it applies to their caregiver. So unpaid caregivers are a tremendous support throughout society, and if it wasn't for these unpaid caregivers, family, friends, neighbours, many people would be stuck.
And they're kind of unsung heroes.
They
really
much.
Jump in and really work hard, and they're balancing and juggling and all of that.
Right. So we are a caregiver resource center which focuses on the caregiver. Not that we don't focus on the older adult, but in this particular program it's on the caregiver. So we have services available. There's support groups. There's respite services if the caregiver needs to go out of town or just wants a break or has a family occasion or something they want to attend and they don't want to leave their loved one alone. There is respite services available. Also educational events, stress relief programs, because caregivers typically don't take care of themselves, and that's what we're there to do, to give them the support so they can take care of themselves, which is very important because, it's the old oxygen mask on the airplane.
It's right. They have to stay healthy too, and not be so stressed out, being torn in many ways.
Yeah. And another program we have that people aren't aware of is grandparents raising grandchildren.
Oh.
So many times people find themselves, raising kids for the second time around. And this can be unexpected. It can bring challenges and responsibilities that you weren't prepared for or had planned for. So we have a grandparents raising grandchildren support group. We're also able to help with some financial support because there's going to be unexpected expenses. So if you've stepped into that role, for a second time, contact us because we may have, and it's important you connect with other people who are in the same position, which can be tremendous support.
It can, and you can exchange ideas about, how to help, just how to get help, or I think just knowing that someone else is doing and going through the same things you are is very helpful.
And let's face it, the generations are very different over time. Mm-hmm. So, we can communicate with the schools for you. We can provide support.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So with all of these great things, how do people pay for this? Is this, is it like a government grant sort of thing? What happens with payment? Because, these are people also working.
Sure. So all of our services, there is no fee for our services. Some of the programs are based on eligibility, and some are financial eligibility, and some are based on need. So for example, home delivered meals is a program that is just based on your need. So we assess the need for the program. And if you qualify, and usually it's because you're unable to get to the grocery store, or indeed maybe you can get to the grocery store, but maybe it's difficult for you to prepare meals. So we will go out and do a comprehensive assessment in your home and assess you for all available services and discuss all options with you. So there is no fee for that, but you have to meet the need.
Okay.
The in-home services program, that is a state program, and we are the designated organization to assess people for that in this area. It's based on your financial, not your income, but your asset level. So if you're eligible, then we will go out and do an assessment and make sure that you get the services that you need so you can remain in your home and stay there safely. We also have an elder abuse program where people make reports of suspected elder abuse, neglect, or exploitation. Again, there is no financial criteria. This is just someone thinks you're a victim and they call in a report, then we'll go out and assess. So no fee for our services. We do get a lot of federal funding, state funding, private foundations, community support, donations, corporate donors, and a variety of other supporters and sponsors, because we need that to be able to offer all the services we offer, and indeed offer over and above what the government will fund. The government funds the meals, the caregiver support, the community care program, which is the in-home program, but we also have programs that we fund ourselves. For example, during COVID, we recognized the importance of being digitally connected. Mm-hmm. We were all locked up in our house, and we have developed a program called TechWise, and we're offering it in local libraries, and it's really educating people who have no knowledge of how to use a computer or a tablet or even a smartphone on how you can learn the skills, which will keep you connected to family. It'll keep you connected to information. Maybe you can attend some, classes online. But what we also do is help you navigate the health My Chart. We walk you through My Chart, right, because now everything is online. Everything is an app. Everything is digital.
It is.
So we have very small personal classes throughout the area. We do a 6-week course, and we're really hopeful. So that's something that we have to find funding for. It's not just something that's funded.
Okay.
So we have 3 or 4 grants right now supporting that. We get devices through that, and we're definitely funded for the next 2 years, and we've just submitted another grant to extend it for another 3 years, and we'll expand the availability because we see the need, and we really feel responsible to meet the needs of the community.
Well, and that is really a skill. Young people today have grown up with this. This is a second nature to them. It's like, breathing. Not a problem, but for someone like my mother at the time, just trying to operate a cell phone was not possible.
Yeah.
And then landlines are, So, what does that person do? You need the education to be able to do it, and someone with patience, to help them go through that.
Yeah.
And actually to acquire some kind of device, too.
Yes.
So that is all very, very helpful. And you're right. There's so many things that aren't even a phone call. They'll tell you, get online, do this, do that. Well, that's not possible for many, many people. So that's a great service too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, we're very lucky to have it, and we have a great program. And there's waiting lists, I think, currently at most of the locations. So the demand is there, and we're happy we're able to step in and support and meet that need.
That's good. So when you have an assessment, I realize you go into the person's home, but do you have an office where people go into to have a discussion about property tax or something like that? Do they come in at all?
So our office is located on College Drive in Palos Heights.
Okay.
You can make appointments there. We have benefits specialists that meet with people. We have housing specialists. We have intake specialists, and we have senior health insurance counselors, which is important for Medicare, prescriptions, if you have a problem with your bill, if you're trying to find a Medicare supplement and you just don't know where to turn, or you can't afford your medications and you're wondering, how can I pay, $300 a month for this medication? So we have people that can help you see if there's programs out there that can, we can get you a grant for that or get a subsidy. So yes, best to call to make an appointment. And we do welcome people into the office because they're overwhelming, and the system is difficult to navigate. So we can be there for you to do that.
I know, and anything related to government is very complex.
Yes.
And so even people who do it for a living, there's always changes, and there's thick bunches of paper with directions, and it's just all overwhelming, especially I think when you're older and you're like, well, I can't figure this out by myself. I need help.
Right, and we can submit the applications. Most applications are done online, and you have to scan the documents, but we can do all that.
Yes,
we can do all that.
That's a really good thing. I mean, because sometimes even if you can do that, these things are not automatic. So as an older person, you're like trying to do something, and you're like, I give up, and we don't want people to give up on that.
Well, and there's an element of fear. Did I do it right? Did I forget it? I know personally, even sometimes I go, did I do it right, or did I submit everything, or
did I submit too much?
Personally, But we have people that do that every day. And they'll be able to guide you through that.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful thing. I think the thing is, too, it's really important to realize if you reach out for help, that's not a failing. That is actually brave, because sometimes we just need help. We can't figure it out. And when there's an agency of people, that's what they do. They want to help you. It's not like going to, yes, there'll be strangers to start with, but they're strangers who have a purpose to help you. So don't be afraid to reach out. I think that in today's world, there's so much scary stuff that, and I think as you get older, you get more frightened.
And we, just call for the information. I mean, you make the decision. The individual makes the decision. We don't make the decision. We inform you. We give you the knowledge, and then you are able to decide yes or no, or I'm going to think about it, or I'm ready. So it's driven by the client, or it's client centered. So we are that's one of our guiding principles, really.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful agency, and it's been around a long time. In fact, something is coming up, and I want you to talk a little bit about that, Elaine. You have a big 50th anniversary coming up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This has been going on for 50 years.
Yes.
I'm not sure everyone's aware of that. So now you are.
Yeah.
Talk about that with us.
So Pathlights, then Plows, was formed in 1975 as a result of the Older Americans Act, which was created the year before, and really the focus nationally on providing services for aging was born back in 1974. We were formed in 1975, a very small organization with staff. I think there was maybe 3, and now we have a staff of 70, and we also have 60 volunteers that support us every week. Actually, we have meals that go out every day. We have people that help us in the office with all the applications that we submit. So we are really have grown substantially. So as we celebrate our 50 years, we're going to have a gala celebration on Friday, May 2nd at the Orland Chateau. And it's going to be really an evening of reflection and celebration. And we'll reflect on how we got to where we are today. How did we do that? And now we're serving close to 20,000 people every year.
Goodness, 20,000 people.
Every year. And it'll really be a nice evening. And we're excited to invite everyone to join us.
So anyone can attend.
Anyone can attend. Tickets are available on sale. You'll see them on our website, or you can call the office. And we'll also share with you our vision for the future and where we're hoping we'll go in the next, by 2030, because we have to evolve with society. So
you do.
We're always looking at that.
Excuse me, I kind of lost my voice. Excuse me. So with 20,000 people, you really maybe need some expansion as well.
So we have been servicing Payless, Lamont, Orland and Worth townships for the last 50 years. In October of 2024, we extended our service area into Bremen and Rich Township. So we're going a lot further south in Cook County. We're new to some of those towns. We're very much in the early stages. We're getting to know them, working with their community members, their libraries, their villages, their senior centers. So in the new area, including our new area and Payless, Lamont, Orland, Worth, there are over 130,000 people over 60.
Wow.
Now, not everyone needs our services at this time.
Right.
But it's important that they know who we are and what we do, because maybe in the future, them or a family member or a loved one may need to be aware of our services. And it's not just about in-home services. We offer educational events. We offer events. Sometimes we bring in external experts. We have presentations on wills and trusts, falls prevention, understanding Alzheimer's disease, self-care for caregiving. So there's a lot of external people that we bring in to help us educate the community. We also have experts in our own in-house that go out into the community to give presentations on our services, on maybe elder abuse, how to recognize it, how to report it, Medicare benefits. So there's a lot of educational work that we do really in partnership with the libraries, the senior centers, the community centers throughout the area. So
that's right. So you can go get a lot of education. You can go to different events.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to the next thing, with your 50th gala, is that open? Like you can get a ticket for it? It's open for the public?
Yes, absolutely, yes. We'd love everyone to join us.
How would they do that?
I know. So I would say you can get you can go online, or you can just call the office and say, I'd like to, we can send you information about it.
Yeah, you can participate.
Yeah. So we'd be more than happy to have you join us. We'd love to see you there.
That would be lovely. Okay, so also you have coming up in September, and I know that sounds far away, but it really isn't. The way the months have been going by, just to prepare people, there is a symposium coming up at that time.
Right. So because we've been servicing the community for 50 years, and you've been coming to us for 50 years, we wanted to give back a little something. So we have created this, it'll be a free half-day educational learning event. And it's on September 25th at the Doubletree in Alsip.
Okay.
We thought that was a good location, central, easy to access. We're inviting 2 experts in aging to come in and share their insights about how to embrace aging with a positive mindset. You know, aging is a season or a chapter where a lot of people are fearful, but it is actually something that is to be enjoyed and embraced. So we wanted to bring these experts in about how to think positively about aging. Now, we recognize there's challenges, there can be health concerns, but there can also, it can be enjoyed and not feared. And it's a time of different opportunities. And so we really wanted to bring them in. And we will have lunch, we will have lots of vendors, and we'll have some chair yoga. So we'd love for you to join us. It's a free event. The information will be going out soon. Again, you can call the office. We can send you a flyer. We will be distributing flyers throughout the area. But please feel free to call us about any time. We'll drop something in the mail if you're not able to get out to find out the information. We are doing every year we have a Journey magazine that's distributed through the Tribune, and that will be going out also May 4th, Sunday, May 4th. It will be in the Chicago Tribune edition.
Okay.
We will also have copies, so if you would like a copy of our Journey magazine, contact us, we'll mail you one, and there will be some throughout the towns in the libraries and senior centers as well.
Okay.
So a lot of information, a lot of good articles in there about aging. So
I think it's great, and I think it's really great that you're talking about, you know, the positive parts of aging, because there are many, but I think when you have aches and pains or maybe not enough money or those things, you kind of, it can go south a little bit.
Sure.
So it's good to hear all the good stuff about getting older.
Yeah.
All the wise things you're going to know.
I know. Yeah, no, we felt it was important.
It is,
and it's important to us that the older population is respected and valued. And this is one of the ways we can do that.
That sounds really wonderful. Any other things that you want to mention before we go? I mean, we've touched on a lot of topics, and I think that the best thing you can do is reach out to Pathlights and get your information for your personal needs. And so you go ahead and do that. Elaine, do you want to give a phone number that people can call?
Yeah, our phone number is 708-361-0219. And we're there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So please, we get all kinds of calls every day about questions that are even unrelated to the work we do. So please reach out, and you'll get a friendly voice to answer the phone, and they'll be able to direct you. We can mail information, we can connect you with resources, and we'd be happy to engage.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you
was
for
wonderful.
your choice in occupations, because we need caring, loving people to help people navigate their way through aging, and that's wonderful that we have a program, an outreach program that you can go to and find out more.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, great.
And thanks for watching us on Spotlight, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.